move right along here. Whoops. Forgot that was there. All right, looking at molecular formulas. Remember we said molecular formulas are the formula as the compound exists in nature. And so to determine whether or not something is a molecular formula, it could possibly be reduced to a simpler form. All right, this question says which of the following could be an empirical formula. That means it's already in its simpler form. So in looking at these, N2O4, that's not the simplest ratio, and so that could not be an empirical. If it had to find its empirical, we would just reduce it down. So NO2 would be the empirical form of this of N2O4. Same thing here. NH3 would be the empirical of N2H6. N2O5, that is the simplest ratio. So N2O5 would also be the empirical. So this is the only one of those that could be an empirical formula. Now, how do we find it? Well, in order to calculate a molecular formula, you need two things. You need the empirical formula, and then you also need the molar mass, the actual molar mass. So in this example here, we're working again with NO2 as the empirical, and it says that we have a molar mass of 92 grams per mole. All right. Essentially, to find the molecular formula, I want to know if the empirical is the same as the molecular, or if it is some multiple of if the molecular is some multiple of the empirical. And so what we're going to do is we're going to look at the actual mass, the molar mass of the empirical. So the molar mass of NO2 with 1 nitrogen and 2 oxygens is about 45.987 grams per mole. And so again, what I want to know is I want to know how much bigger is the molecular than this empirical. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the molecular weight of the actual molecule, divide it by the molecular weight of the empirical, and I'm going to round that. That's going to give me, it should be approximately a whole number, and that is about, this one is about 2. So that tells me that my molecular formula is twice as big as the empirical, and so all I'm going to do then is take the 2 and I'm going to multiply each of the subscripts in the empirical formula by 2. So N2O4 is the compound that we're talking about. It has a molecular mass of 92, and it has an empirical formula of NO2.